Welcome, heroes. Welcome to Unsung Heroes. My name is Mike Mercadal. I host an interview podcast called Zeros on Heroes where I interview people about their heroes. But this is Unsung Heroes where you guys get to be the heroes. Can you tell from the spooky music? We're talking about true crime and unsolved mysteries. This is Unsung Heroes True Crime Podcast. Basically, it is a 100% capitalization on how popular true crime podcasts are, and hopefully this is a social media ploy disguised as content. You guys are all complicit in this crime. You're aiding and abetting me right now doing this bullshit. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you all for being here at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens, every Thursday at 8 p.m. I appreciate you all for being here. That was the theme song to, who knows it? Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. Does anybody remember that show where he comes out and he's like, this shit is spooky and it makes you not trust any of your neighbors, and Kevin across the street's been acting suspicious and he might be the guy. And they also, this is also the first time I ever saw people do age progression photographs. Do you remember? Like, that's a big thing for solving crimes. And I've always questioned, like, is there ever like a result? Do they ever find the person and be like, yo, we nailed it? You know, like we fucking crushed it. Or like I did not realize how important a police sketch artist is. Right? They would always do the police sketch artists. And I always was like, that's a dope job, like to get as an art, like if you're just an artist and all of a sudden you're like, I also fight crime, you know, like that's also my thing. Also, The Punisher's coming out. It's also tied in loosely with that, crime and punishment. Yes, I get the groan. That's fine. I'll take it. We're going to be talking about today your favorite, if you have a favorite true crime podcast, a show or a movie that was ripped from the headlines. If anybody remembers a Law and Order episode ripped from the headlines, there's a couple that I remember. And also, if you would like to confess to a crime and put an end to an unsolved mystery, you can do that as well. Yeah. There's, I'm not saying anyone here has to confess to murder. I'm just saying that if you felt like confessing to a small crime and it's been weighing on you since childhood, maybe you stole from the collection plate at church one time. I came up with that one real quick. I did not. I have never stolen from a collection plate. Yeah, whatever. But also, I have a list of true crime stories that are odd and unusual that have been ranked by ranker.com. So blame them if this is boring. What do you say we get our first true criminal? What are we calling each other today? What are we calling each other? What's our first? We'll say. That's got a rape connotation now with Bryan Singer, and Kevin Spacey. That's a double whammy for the usual suspects. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our first hero this evening. Coming up to the stage is not in the room. Goes back in the bucket. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joe Hardman. Joe. I'm sorry. What did I call you? Yeah, Joe, come up on the stage. What's going on, man? You didn't put your last name on here, so I was confused. I'm going to turn that on. Yeah, we got new microphones, everybody, and this is an experiment as well.
Hey, check. Nice. Good to be here.
What's up, Joe?
Happy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First things first.
Yes.
Are you, in fact, a criminal?
Yes.
You have committed a crime in the past.
Yeah, and I right now it feels like I'm addicted to shoplifting.
Really?
I stole almost all of my Christmas presents. Yeah.
Wait.
I felt bad about it.
Wait,
yeah.
so you went to a place and you stole stuff there with the sole intention to give it to other people?
Yes.
Are you a modern day Robin Hood is what I'm getting. You are a modern day rob from the rich to...
Yeah. I just don't have any empathy for Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah. Fuck that giant conglomerate of coats.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what did you take?
Well, I got something big. Oh my God. I forgot about this. I got a 100% cotton down comforter for my girlfriend.
Does your girlfriend know that her
No.
Christmas?
No, and she will never know. This will not leave this room.
Yeah, and absolutely will not be recorded onto a podcast.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, I have a question. You
Yeah.
stole. This is a giant. That's a
I know.
bulky item.
I know.
Are you a good shoplifter? How did you get away with it?
I must be. I didn't think I was, but I continue to shoplift, and I'm like, damn, this is easy. What's going on? Like, I can't. I'm not good at this. I can't be good at this.
Is it because of the government shutdown that they're just like not caring anymore? Security. I'm joking.
I think like most people, like, okay, first of all, I have done some research. Like, you know those cameras, the like dark black circle camera? They have a blind spot directly under them. They cannot see. If you're right underneath one, they can't see what's going in your pants or whatever. But anyways, so I grabbed Burlington Coat Factory sells these like dollar shopping bags that say Burlington on it. So I just grabbed one, ripped it off, and then I put the comforter in there, and then I waited for the security guards to like not be looking. Because they stand by the exit. I held my breath a little bit as I walked out.
What, did you get a rush? Is that why you do it? Is that why you do it, just to get the exhilaration of committing a crime?
You know what? I think there is an element because I have had addictions, and right now I'm in the like a 12-step program.
Oh, well, not for shoplifting, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
No. And
what the fuck, Joe?
So I do get a rush of, I'm told, dopamine.
Yeah. No,
stealing.
it's supposed to, like, anything. It's the same reason people watch scary movies, or they'll do stuff that they like, or people who have sex where they might get caught. That exhilaration that you feel, like that idea of that rush, is what you get addicted to.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you: have you ever solved a crime? Have you ever been a part of an investigation?
Not entirely, but I have accused people of crimes.
Okay.
I have
justly, or like,
I don't know,
or to distract from the shoplifting.
So in high school, we had a teacher who was like renowned, and his name was Mr. Hobrick, and his name was on the basketball court.
Whoa! You are just saying names with no.
Well, there's more.
Okay.
So somebody found his laptop with a bunch of girls from high school with their faces. No. Yeah, their faces cut out. This was back in like 2005. So it was like, I don't know, pasted. Their faces were cut out and pasted on the bodies of porn stars.
What? Wait, like actual physical stuff or Photoshop?
It was like Microsoft Paint.
Wow.
Yeah. But the school released a statement saying that he had the photos of the girls' faces separate from the porn stars, and I was like, no way. So I came out and accused him of pasting the faces. Yeah.
Good for you for catching a creep.
Yeah.
But also that's fun. That's were you in the process of stealing his laptop and then you discovered? Just to tie it all in, do you have a favorite true crime podcast? Do you listen to anything that involves any movies or TV shows or podcasts that are about crime and true crime?
I have a favorite true crime story.
Okay.
This is my favorite serial killer of all time. He's pretty recent, actually. I think it was like 2016, maybe. His name, you might know him. His name's Todd Kohlhepp. I believe they caught him in either Virginia or Carolina. And he had a woman. He had killed a couple of people. He chained them up on his property. You know,
like you do, yeah.
And he had a woman chained inside of a large storage bin, like just on his huge 20-acre property. But here's the fun part. He was leaving Amazon reviews on the products that he was using to kill people with.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Wait, like
yes.
these garden shears are perfect for stabbing. 5 stars.
So he had a fold-up shovel, and he wrote on the Amazon review like, oh, because it was like a tiny shovel. I guess it was a tiny shovel. And he's like, oh, 5 stars. If only came with a midget or
what?
And then there was a chainsaw that he reviewed, 5 stars. He said the chainsaw works great. The hard part is getting my neighbor to stand still.
These are the legitimate. This were on the reviews.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to make a bit out of it, but I could never get it. People just didn't sympathize. And
I wonder why.
And,
wow.
Yeah, Google him, Todd Colehette. He was leaving Amazon reviews, like taunting people. It was awesome. He was reviewing like garbage bags, chainsaws, shovels. Oh, locks, a chain and a lock too. He wrote something like, "You'll grow old before you claw your way out of this chest."
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, "These are great trunks." You know, it was like one of those trunks that shuts and locks.
And at what point do you think the Amazon security people or the Amazon the people who review the reviews were like, "Hey, this guy's a little weird, huh?" like they send it up the ladder, like, "Hey, should we be concerned?"
Yeah,
it's like the Zodiac killer. He left clues in Amazon reviews. Like that's straight.
Yeah. Part of me wondered if either A, he was just a guy that liked reviewing things, you know, like Yelp, movies, etc., and just happened to kill people, or if he was trying to like let other serial killers know that these were good products.
Like,
I don't know.
Like heads up, serial murderers.
Yeah.
Wow. It's true. Yeah, they're very discriminatory against serial killers.
I mean, why do you guys think he was leaving Amazon reviews?
I don't know. I would imagine that it's like, because that's the whole idea of like serial killers want to get caught. They want recognition for how smart they think they are. You know, how they're going to get away with it.
They want to get caught. I like that.
Yeah, the reviews.
Amazon review.
Yeah, it's like I wonder if he was reviewing like a blender that he bought that didn't work out well, and he's like, none of these reviews are giving me the rush that I need.
Yeah,
like if he was just serial murdering just for the reviews, just like
that's what I wondered too. If he
it's
was,
like, I'm not passionate about murder. I'm passionate about reviewing things accurately on Amazon.
Yeah, what is it? Top reviewer,
right? Yeah, like his review rate, his customer rating is like through the roof, 100%. He's just like the best guy.
Or you know how sometimes companies send the products to people and they're like, "To disclose, I was sent this product for free in exchange for an honest review."
Yeah, this Milwaukee chainsaw worked out great. Full disclosure, they did send it to me to use. I don't think they're aware that I'm using it to sever limbs.
Yeah.
This is from the list of interesting unsolved crimes or true crime. These are bizarre true crime stories. 1 through 14. What number would you like?
13.
13. Oh shit! It wasn't too long ago that the strange story of Ariel Castro made headlines. For more than a decade, the Cleveland bus driver held 3 women captive in his home. Gina De Jesus, Amanda Berry, and Michelle Knight went missing in Cleveland area between 2002. I should probably do a spooky voice for this. And 2004. At the time of their abduction, the girls were 14, 16, and 21 respectively. Each of them was presumed dead until Berry staged a heroic escape from Castro's home. Wow. Berry managed to get out of the house on Seymour Avenue with her 6-year-old daughter, whom Castro fathered. Ugh. She alerted authorities, which led to the rescue of her fellow captives. Demolition crew leveled the house the same year as the women's rescue. Like they tore the fucking. That's the one that went viral on the internet. Remember when she like there was like that black dude that she ran into the arms of a black dude or whatever. Wow. Remember, and the guy was like, something crazy when the white girl was running into the hands. And then you remember that.
That's pretty ambitious for a bus driver.
Yeah, I wonder. Like they were saying that he was like for 3 years. Those are the ones that freak me out the most. Where it's like, how? That's a long time.
It's a felony to assault a bus driver.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, that's why those girls were worried. Yeah, they're like, I can't fight back. He's a bus driver. Oh, I don't want to go to jail for assaulting a bus driver. Joe, thank you for being here. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
Go Self-Help Yourself podcast.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Mike Mercadal actually will be on the podcast this Sunday.
I'm going to be, yes, on Sunday. I will be there. We're going to be reviewing the 4-Hour Body. The 4-Hour Body, which is I've done and used, and it's super interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Joe. Thank you so much. Coming up next, give it up for John Smith. John Smith. You can bring that to me. I'll take that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hello.
What do you got going on? I think that mic's off now too, but I'm conserving battery. We got wireless mics, everybody. I'm super testing these things out. Let's see what.
Check.
Lights on. Yeah, when you said you had wireless mics, I was really excited for a second because I thought it was going to be like those Britney Spears mics.
Check.
Yeah, everyone gets like a weird lavalier or a weird thing that people's breath is really close to. Like, that's the grossest thing about comedy is the microphones. That's
It's true.
That's what I want most out of every podcast. Every breath someone makes, just breathy.
Yeah.
I just want like there's a fat kid sitting behind me in the bus.
Or very fitting for true crime podcasts. Have you ever gotten the prank calls of someone being on the breathing into the phone and stuff like that?
And I was like a teenager and I fucking fell. Not fell for it, but I was like,
I thought you were going to say
scared.
I fell for the voice on the other end of the phone. I was madly obsessed.
Yeah.
Who are you? I love you.
Yeah. No, Stockholm syndrome.
Full on auditory stuff. You know, it's funny that shit now, if you look up ASMR videos, that's what so many of them are. That's just people whispering.
Yeah.
It's just people going like this. And you can hear their lips smacking, and then their fingernails are touching paper or some shit like that. They'll tear a piece of paper. They'll scratch things.
And that teenage girl that's doing that makes more money than us.
That is truly a crime. No, but
do they have ASMR sex chats?
I would imagine so, dude.
Have to be.
I'm sure on Pornhub there's a ton of ASMR.
You just call up and it's like the sound of rice on sandpaper, and then she's like, "Ooh yeah, you like that?"
Yeah, that's
she's
super
I'm
fucking specific. The fucking rice on rice on sandpaper. It's like, well, that's my thing. I don't know. John, I have to ask you:
I have an Asian.
Are you a criminal?
Not that I'm aware of. I might have committed some crimes that I was not aware, like a Mr. Magoo sort of situation where I just stumbled into it and caused problems and then stumbled out.
Yeah. So you've never knowingly committed a crime that you got caught. It's not gonna fit.
Okay. Well, I mean, crime's such a I don't
like we said, there's varying levels of crime.
Well, this is a minor one. Oh yeah, I mean, I fucking used to steal from my first job like crazy, but it was one of those things where I can't when I worked there, the woman who trained me was like, "Yeah, you can just take whatever you want, no one cares."
Oh wow!
And I was just like, "Oh, cool, that's right." And then we all just did, and it was not right. Looking back on it, I was just like, "That didn't function."
I genuinely feel like there's certain jobs where they must budget for how much paper clips people steal, or the office supplies. I would imagine, when I worked in an office, I never bought a ream of paper for my printer at home forever. I just
they factor theft into the budget. Yeah. So if you don't steal, you're basically leaving money on the table.
When
spoken like a true klepto.
Think about it.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's when I worked at Best Buy for after high school, and there was literally we know we're gonna lose this many computers, and we're like, Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That happened to me. I got fired from Best Buy, actually.
For stealing?
No, someone else stole a computer, and they fired me for negligence.
Because you didn't rat him out or something?
No,
Did you know?
He just kind of took the computer, and I was just spacing out.
Okay, so true negligence then. So they were justified in firing you.
I brought him over to customer service, and I forgot to take his money, and then he's like, "Yeah, I paid for it already," and then he walked out with a computer, and I got fired.
That sounds about right.
Makes sense.
That's
Makes
fair.
sense.
That sounds fair.
So now I steal.
So yeah. So you stealing from the office. I feel like is
well, this was not an office. This was a gas station. This was I was a teenager. My first job. I worked at a gas station / Harley Davidson shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where you stole your many motorcycles.
That's when you see me just polar bear ride every day. Never
do
been
a
on a
poker
motorcycle
run
in my
or whatever
life.
they're called.
Not that cool.
Have you ever solved a crime? Have you ever been part of an investigation?
That really puts a lot of like you believe in me and way more than you should if you think I could put things together enough to solve a crime.
Well, you know who's solved crimes? Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo has accidentally solved crimes.
There was this crime, a lot of murder in my hometown. And there was this crime for a long time. My friend was obsessed. He was like, let's become bounty hunters. Let's do this. Because this guy was killed.
Bounty hunters?
This guy was killed in my hometown, and it was like killed in the middle of the woods. He was on a hunting trip, and he was found like dead in like this parking lot area. And then his family put out this like reward for any information on the killer. And I usually like drive by on my way home and see this giant lit up billboard with just like I forget how much money it was. It was thousands to like anybody who could give any information on this guy's killer. As far as I know, no one ever found out.
Yeah, I've seen that shit on TV, like Crime Stoppers. Like, call this with anonymous. You can give your tips anonymously.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. But it's a giant billboard, and that's weird.
Are bounty hunters allowed to kill?
I think that they're allowed to. They're allowed to carry. And then I guess within the laws of wherever state you're in, that you can use the gun according to whatever. But I also don't. I think there's certain rules in terms of like executing.
That'd be a very memorable episode of Dog the Bounty Hunter.
The episode where he finally murders somebody.
Where he just kills somebody.
Didn't he say the N-word a bunch of times?
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that guy? That guy says the N-word a lot.
I don't know that for a fact, but I have seen a picture of him, so yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite true crime podcast or show that you enjoy? Movie?
So my first like real true crime obsession was Party Monster.
Oh yeah, that's based on.
Toby is the only person that you had, and she's the one I would expect to.
Yeah.
Stay on brand, Toby.
Yeah. On brand, Toby. That's her name.
Party Monster was it's there's a movie, there's a documentary, there's a book. I've consumed all of them, but it is about the club kid scene in the 90s,
right?
And the guy who was like this big like. Yeah, well, James St. James wrote it. He wrote it, but it was Michael Alig who killed his drug dealer Angel and with a hammer.
Of course.
And it's like super it's a super crazy scene that was kind of like based on art and fashion and kind of just being a weirdo, and it's like where RuPaul came out of and all of that.
Sure.
And then on top, and then it gets super into they get super into drugs and stuff because it was all about the New York nightlife of the 90s.
Yeah, like cocaine, ecstasy, all that stuff.
Ecstasy, Special K, heroin.
Yeah,
that's the combination.
Put them together. That sounds like a nice little evening of being on a couch, stuck and doing nothing.
But so it was a mix of like all of these things of like, oh, there's this creative element to it. Oh, it's like this weird queer thing. Also, like there's this weird murder in the middle of it that makes it all just super fascinating. And they made this movie starring Macaulay Culkin, and it was his like return to acting after being away from it for a while. And then Seth Green's in it as well. He's fucking amazing. It's not a great movie, but it is a very good movie. It's very low budget, and actually, the company that made it now makes RuPaul's Drag Race, and now makes a fuck ton of money.
Wow! Yeah. So it's I've never seen it. I've never seen Party Monster, but I've seen it as like this indie film darling of everybody talks about it being.
Darling's a strong word, but yes.
Yeah. Is it a cult? It's got a cult.
Yeah, it does have a cult following for sure.
I guess more now because of the whole. If they're produced by RuPaul's Drag Race, I'm sure it's got more eyes on it because of that.
The other thing about it is that there's so much footage of these people that you can like go back on just a YouTube and like watch. Like they were on like Geraldo and shit like that because they were before the murders. They were just like, look what the kids are doing these days. They're dressing up they're dressing up in these incredibly like elaborate, weird drag kind of outfits.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I understand. The only thing I relate, like when anybody talks about like New York in the 90s and that scene, I only picture the fucking movie. I'm sorry, it's the obligatory Hackers reference for every episode. Where like they show like that club scene where it goes from like this like techno house music to all of a sudden there's like a rap rock band going on. Like there was just like a weird mix of fucking everything.
That, but gayer.
Yeah.
And like, okay, here's a fucking crazy ass detail about it. So he killed this guy with a hammer. Also, this is a little bit weird to say because this guy is out and he has a Twitter feed. So don't at him for me, please.
The murderer?
Yeah, he got out like not that long ago. And
from murder?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he was in jail for like 2 decades or so. Yeah, but
good God, that's fucking great.
But like, this is a crazy detail. So he murdered this guy
country
with a hammer. And before he was like, they're not too much earlier. I don't actually know the timeline. He put out a party. He did a party that he hosted called like Bloodbath. And the poster for it is him with this other woman who was in the scene. And he's like bashed her head in with a hammer. And then he's like licking the blood off the hammer. And that's the poster.
Wow.
And that's before the murders.
He clearly had a thing in mind.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it could also be like when they talk about it, they're just.
Did they use the poster as evidence in the court?
Yeah. Guys, Exhibit A and through Z. Like, this is all you need to see is this guy's
super fucking crazy ass detail.
Did you review the hammer?
Yeah, how do you feel about the hammer on Amazon?
Well, we should check out the 5 stars. Then so I watched. There's a documentary now that came out. It's on Netflix, and it's about like it's about what happened, but then it goes on about him getting out of jail. There was a doc crew like following him and leading up and shortly after him getting out of jail. And I'm watching this documentary because I have to.
Sure.
And there's a scene with him and like James St. James, his friend, and they're standing and they're looking out on the water where they dumped the body of in the Hudson River. And then they're like making jokes. They're like, "Look, I see Angel," and I'm like, "What are you doing? You're being recorded." Oh my God! Geez, like clearly, I get having a dark sense of humor,
remorse.
But geez.
Yeah, clearly remorse not high on the list. Like he was going for the joke.
Yeah, no, and like you're being recorded, and he knew he was being recorded.
That's fucking.
This isn't like the fucking Jinx. Spoiler alert for the Jinx.
Yeah. What?
Not when he was doing his like bathroom panic sweats.
Watch.
Sorry, I'm talking to Toby off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Mike.
HBO.
So 14 completely bizarre true crime stories. Pick a number between 1 and 14. 13 has been taken.
What are my numbers again? I'm sorry.
1 through 14.
1 through 13 has been taken. 4.
I gotta get my. Oh, hold on. I want to let me see. Hold on. I want to do it. I gotta do it right. I gotta add some drama here. Oh, come on, internet. Fucking A. All right. Here we go.
Show used to tear the fuck by me.
In June 1981, Japanese citizen Issei Sagawa was caught in a Parisian bank with 2 suitcases in his hands. Inside the suitcases were the remains of Rene Hartvelt.
I know this one.
You know this one?
I think so, yeah.
3 days before he was caught, Sagawa had shot and killed Hartvelt, and then spent the intervening time eating various parts of her body. For his crime, the affluent Sagawa spent 5 years in a psychiatric hospital, after which time he was able to check himself out and return to his native Japan. Yep.
He's super famous now.
Over the 30 years since his crime, Sagawa has not only enjoyed freedom, he's become something of a minor celebrity, essentially crafting his own cottage industry from his notorious reputation. Everything from manga to paintings to macabre reenactments in which Sagawa plays himself have been created in the wake of his crimes. Sagawa is notoriously known as the celebrity cannibal.
Yeah. And the weird part is like when they talk to him in interviews and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'd do it again." Yeah.
Like he was able. That's the whole like he got away with claiming insanity, right? Is that essentially it? Like he's one of those people that if you play crazy enough,
I don't really. Yeah, and like the other thing is like I think kind of culturally, like I'm not going to speak for a whole fucking culture that I'm not part of.
Yeah.
But
John, you're a spokesperson for Japanese culture,
but
for
like,
all of Japan and their history.
I'm going to talk like because I heard it like secondhand through someone else half remembering it. So, but like also like I think because like he killed foreign women, so they're like, okay,
really,
yeah, like
interesting distinction, or it's like, hey, he wasn't one of
I also
ours.
think he was also rich beforehand, so there's like a lot of extra stuff to it that like
that's the thing in the
makes
article.
him very titillating.
Yeah, that it becomes about like rich people can get away with literally get away with murder. Like he's in a psychiatric hospital. He's probably high the whole time. They would just load him up with drugs and stuff. I mean, if that's the way to do it, like eat some people, put them in a suitcase,
Absolutely.
That's crazy to me that he got away. But that's the thing.
No, it's crazy that he's famous. Like,
hey, I'm telling you, there's a lot of serial killer fame.
That's a good suitcase. It's not
5 stars
he was
on
also
Amazon.
like, I mean, think about it. Human remains would be leaking.
well, he was also like on the like the side of like a riverbed, I think, and like there was a restaurant that of people just like watching him like take this suitcase down the riverbed. So like it was like super obvious that something was happening.
Right. I still think it falls under that whole like serial killers, like when like the weirdos want to get caught. They're like, people need to know how weird I am, like that element. I just finished listening to this podcast called The Angel of Vine. Is anybody listening to it? It's like a radio drama. It's nonfiction, but it's like a podcast told as they discovered tapes from an investigation of a murder in old Hollywood.
It's like a found footage.
Kind of, yes. Yeah, it's great. It's really, really good. And there's this whole thing about like this murder that takes place in a very like ritualistic way, and the guy's like, oh, they wanted her seen this way, and they wanted attention.
Yeah, no, and also there's like I think there's also an element of like it might not even be I want to be caught. It's just I want to prove how much smarter I am than you.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it is. That's the obsession of like I'm smart enough to get away with it, but I want to get as close to getting caught as possible.
I mean, that's for sure what the Zodiac killer was doing.
They just want human connection.
That's what they want.
That's why they kill.
He should have gone on Craigslist instead of Amazon, is what you're saying. He should have just gone casual and missed connections is what that's all about.
Now we can't even have those anymore.
Does missed connections gone?
Misconnection.
Oh,
all gone.
wow.
No more classifieds on Craigslist.
First of all, I just want to say, called it. 20 years left to the fact or whatever. John, thank you for being here. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
Yeah, follow me at Vox the Devil. I post artwork.
Vox the Devil. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for John Smith. Oh, come on. What is it? Coming up next. Oh, it's you. I put you back in the pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ben Miller. What's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You're new to the show? You've never done it before?
Nope. Just walked in and now I'm here.
Good for you, Ben. Thank you so much for being here. Do you have first and foremost, are you a criminal?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. What crimes have you committed?
Mostly trespassing.
Oh, that's a good one. Trespassing is like urban exploration, I think. Like
yeah, exactly.
Where's the coolest place you've trespassed?
Probably I've been on the roof of Riverside Church. Is that cool?
On the roof Riverside Church, like on the actual like like the cathedral part, or like the cross part, the churchy part.
Yeah, the churchy part.
You climbed all the way up there?
Well, I mean, there was like scaffolding up, and then just sort of like leave it. And a couple of years ago, friends and I just at night we just went up there. It was very cool.
It's that I always say that I have like the opposite of whatever the fear of heights is, where I want to be up high on stuff.
Oh no, I'm really afraid of heights.
So what was the motivation? Like, what drove you to want to do this? Like, just
because it was exciting and cool.
Just the rush.
Yeah.
Are you from New York?
No.
Okay. How long have you been? Like,
I've been here like 4.5 years.
But was this a moment of like, I'm going to capture this adventure? This is going to be
A little bit, yeah. I mean, at a certain point in college, I was like, yeah, I gotta be adventurous and be on roofs and stuff.
commit crimes.
Yeah.
Have you? Is this something that has continued? Do you continue to trespass? Do you go places you're not supposed to? I've always wanted to go into the like where the subway station ends, and there's that platform there. I've always just wanted to keep going. Like, just what's over there? Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just the sense. It was mostly a thing that I was like doing with friends. I don't want to like commit a crime by myself. I don't want to be like a loser, you know?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
You don't want to be like alone in jail. You want to be like hanging out with your buds in jail.
Right. Like if you go to who goes to eat dinner by themselves? It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's true. I will say when I was a kid and like I was like high school, my friends were at the time were vandals. Like they always wanted to break shit. And I was like we were all like kind of athletes, but I was the fat football player. So they would all throw shit, break stuff, and start running. And I'm like, no, this is the part that I'm bad at. I'm not good at this part of the running. And they would I would always get like left behind. And I was like, you motherfuckers, next time someone breaks something, I'm just going to like point at you and just be like, they did it over there.
Wow. It sounds like what they really broke was your heart.
They totally did. They broke the rules of our friendship. I think the care that you're supposed to show another friend.
Was this just like bottles and stuff they were breaking, or like what sort of items?
Rocks at windows and like genuine like a lot of it was firework based M80s in mailboxes and stuff like that. This was Florida. You could get explosives wherever you wanted.
In Florida?
Yeah, man. What? Here's the little thing about Florida. Half of these stories take place in Florida. The bizarre crimes.
Also, like you can't light a swamp on fire, so it's pretty safe.
It feels pretty safe. The air is humid. It'll be fine.
I feel like Florida could figure out a way to light the swamp on fire.
God knows we're trying. Casey. Ben, have you ever been part of solving a crime? Have you ever been part of an investigation?
Yeah. It's sort of a long story. So I don't know if you want it condensed or
Start with the condensed, and we'll pick out the points.
So this is also another like college story. There's a food thief on our floor. So we like set up a camera and caught the food thief.
Oh, so this is like personal crime. Like this was a crime committed against you that you felt you needed justice.
You're right. Yeah. So it wasn't like I like went out there and solved somebody's murder.
This counts. This counts. There's a whole. So you were the victim of a theft.
Yes,
Joe, and you you were the victim of a theft. You set up a camera to record the evidence.
Yeah,
and you busted somebody.
Yes.
What was their reaction when you caught them?
So the reaction at first was just like shock because they just didn't think that they were going to get caught. And so they tried to lie.
Who did it end up being?
Just some dude with a man bun and headphones.
This is in college?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, he just lived like across the hall. But it had been going on for like 6 months or something like that. He'd stolen a lot of food. Yeah, so we confronted him and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. The first thing he actually tried to say is like, people stole food from my fridge. He tried to like justify it by like, well, I've been a victim of theft too, so it's okay that I'm stealing. And then
that's just how things work here, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then he also tried to say that he got blackout drunk. His excuse was that he got blackout drunk and that he woke up in the bathroom with our ice cream curled up in his lap. That was what he tried to tell us.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He blamed it on the alcohol.
So we set up the camera for multiple nights. So we caught him like multiple times. They were like, okay, what about the night before that? And he was like, I was asleep in bed. And we were like, no, you were rooting through our fridge, stealing our shit. And he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I was blackout night that night too. Like, I have a problem. He started to convince us that he was an alcoholic. So
maybe he was realizing at that point, he's like, man, I'm really a blackout drunk. I gotta fix these problems.
Maybe we sort of turned it around because instead of like, we were like, oh my gosh, dude, like we're so sorry. Like we had no idea. Like, what do you need from us? Like, how can we help you, dude? We know, like, I like made up some story like, my uncle's been through a very similar thing. We can like take you to recovery, dude. Like anything you need.
Oh,
just
you
let
offered?
us
You
know.
did you call his bluff? Where you're like,
Oh, yeah.
let's get the campus health
Absolutely.
center involved, and we can find you rehab and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then every time we'd see him after that, we were just like so nice to him. We were like, "Oh, how are you doing? Hey, if you need any support, feel free to come by, talk with us anytime." It got to the point where, like, by the end of the year, he would just like cross the street to avoid us, didn't have to talk to
The
us.
guilt got. I do
Exactly.
love that sense of justice when someone is lying to you and you have evidence to disprove the lie, like right in your pocket. Like you're like, yeah, you let him run. You let him run with the lie, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, oh, by the way, boom, here's the fucking video.
He never even asked for the video, though. He just immediately just caved. It was like, "Yeah, I did it."
Well, yeah, at that point,
But maybe he wanted to be caught. Maybe he knew there was a camera who was performing for
he
it.
knew there, and maybe he was reviewing your food on Amazon. Pick a number between 1 and 14, with 4 and 13 already taken.
8.
8. Oh no! Fuck the music. In 1983, the body of Francisco Patino Gutierrez was found on a street in Hialeah, Florida. Florida, baby. Florida. Nearby, a plastic bag was found taped to the back of a dumpster. Inside was a cryptic riddle. In context, investigators found the note and accompanying riddle as particularly puzzling. Would you like to hear the riddle?
Yeah.
Of course.
What?
Yeah,
nah.
riddle.
Once you're back on track, you'll travel in night. So prepare your old self for a terrible fright. Ooh, it rhymes. Oh, boy. This fucking frustrated poet starts murdering people. Now the motive is clear and the victim is too. You've got all the answers. Just follow the clues. Boo. That's terrible. The case became known as the Liquid Matthew murder thanks to a subsequent riddle clue that was located by police shortly after. The mystery vexed the police for weeks until they released the notes in the local paper. It was then that authorities discovered that the note was written for a church's murder mystery game a month prior to the murder. Thanks to a rainstorm the night of the game, the note hadn't been collected. And so they were still up when Gutierrez's body was recovered. Investigators later attributed his passing to gang-related activities.
That's amazing.
His death was just coincidentally tied together with it's literally that TV trope of like there's a murder mystery and the mansion murder mystery shit, like Clue, and then someone actually dies.
Yeah, I do like the reality though, where there's just this shitty version of the Riddler from Florida. Like I like that too.
I love that. I love that it's like it's literally like a rhyming poem, and then like I bet you the guy who found it, the cop who found it, was like, finally,
Yeah.
straight up from the movies.
Yeah, no, 100%. He was in his own version of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. He's like running
And
with
it's
it.
just this old lady printing it out on her typewriter for a church.
Yeah.
The riddle is just like, "Oh, you have to follow all of the clues." And then there's just a big arrow pointing towards the body. Like, it's not even-
Yeah, like he
to
lands
solve
with
it.
his hand pointing
Yeah.
to the note, just coincidentally. I also love the idea that the clues of that church mystery party were probably like the 10 Commandments, and you have to follow the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and you'll solve the murder or whatever. Pray. It was a church thing. They're real heavy-handed. Ben, is there anything you'd like to promote? This comes out tomorrow, so anything you like.
I'm running a show at Monday at Greenwich Village Comedy Club at 7:30. Is that a
fantastic.
weird thing to promote? It's gonna be cold, so we probably won't be able to like bark anybody in.
Is it a monthly show or just a one-off?
bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly. What's
Yeah.
the name of the show?
It's just called Miller Time Mondays. I don't know. I'm not very creative.
Miller Time sounds good, man. And it's at Greenwich every other Monday at 7:30. At 7:30. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Ben Miller. Thank you, John. Coming up next. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, returning from beyond the grave, returning from a stint in prison, returning the prodigal son, Will motherfucking Watkins! What's up? He's back!
Bow down, bitches.
Yeah. Now you shaved your beard. Now it's not the same because now it's just like, please bow down, bitches.
Not as menacing anymore.
You're sure, we'll go with that. No, but you're welcome back. You're here.
Man.
You're taking part in the show True Crime Podcast. Will Watkins, are you in fact a criminal?
The only thing I murder are audiences and your mom's pussy.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love it nothing more if that would just be like, that's all I wanted to say. And you just fucking drop the mic and get out of here. No, our new microphone.
I'm going to go get some more $5 PPRs and tequilas.
You mean here at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens?
I was so sitting down there. I was like, man, I don't want to be the nervous knee guy. You were up here the whole time, like doing the jitterbug.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I don't want to be that guy.
Well, I don't know
because we didn't have the chair when we did it.
We didn't, not in the middle. Yeah. Now we have chairs for everyone to be comfortable.
Now everybody's got to come up here and have their like fucking stomach pooch out.
They can choose to stand, but I will say, Will, I don't know if you remember, but this is not a video medium, it's an audio medium, so these jokes are going nowhere.
I'm just saying people's personal images affect their voice and their character on stage. But right now, I'm shifting my spine like a motherfucker.
All right, theater degree. What crimes have you committed?
I don't commit crimes. I'm a good Catholic boy.
You're a good boy. When you were becoming you were going to become a priest.
I was going to be a priest and shit, yeah. You know, this is how anytime I'm about to do something bad, I get immediate guilt. This has literally happened like 2 weeks ago. I was leaving CVS and I got Sprite Zeros in the big 12-pack cans. And I forgot to pay for it because it was the self-checkout. I paid for everything else but the cans. And I walked home and I was like, oh, I didn't pay for these cans. And then I was like, I got away with these cans. I stole these cans. And then like 5 minutes later, I walked back to the CVS with the thing. And I was like, I got to pay for these cans. I can't steal these cans of Sprite Zero because I'm going to go to hell or whatever else.
The hell or whatever else.
Yeah, whatever.
There's going to be like a SWAT team descending on you for the fucking 12-pack of fucking cans.
Yeah, I don't even believe in hell or anything. I'm just like, I have to be right with Jesus. Be right with this Jesus who doesn't exist.
What? But clearly you've sinned. Because that's
I jerk off a lot. That's a sin, right?
That's I didn't.
Is that a crime?
What
when you do it in front of children?
What is the?
That's not female community.
Yeah. When you, I would argue, please don't jerk off in front of me. Don't do that. Yeah, it's very. I apologize for the disappointment. But did they view that kind of crime and punishment stuff when you were going through the religious process of, did you have to go through special like cleansings or whatever? Like, I don't understand.
Like contrition? Like you go to like, you do penance and stuff like that? Like,
to become a priest, do you have to do any extra level above the average person?
Oh, I bailed out pretty fucking early. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
What? Well, what? Why? I don't think I've ever asked you why you just were like you quit.
There was a lot of stuff. I mean, I was in the Palm Beach County. I was on the Diocesan Youth Council. I was on the Bishops Council, and all this shit. And literally 3 bishops in a row were accused of pedophilia. That was probably in a row. Yeah, there was.
How does that work? What does in a row mean?
There was Bishop O'Connell. By the way, it was Bishop Anthony O'Connell, and Anthony O'Connell used to be a comedian. He doesn't do comedy anymore. But every time he would go on stage, I was like, "You fucking pedophile! I don't give a damn what your punchline is."
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like 3 in a row. There was also the Cardinal of Palm Beach Diocese. There was a bunch of them. And then it was also the whole, I learned about history and science and shit.
But still it has a sway on you in terms of not paying for Sprites or whatever.
It's weird because it's like, I don't know, is it... did my religious upbringing affect my moral code, or is it more about me reading comic books as a kid? Like, which one had more, like... Spider-Man does the right thing all the time, even though he could very easily rob a bank or some shit, but he doesn't do that.
That's true. So
I would argue that with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's good.
Has affected my life more than thou shalt not steal.
It's I mean, I kind of buy that where you like idolize a hero over a villain. In terms of like the Bible's full of like villains too. You know what I mean? Like the more and more you like or churches are full of villains. The more and more we're learning about stuff, it just keeps coming out where you're like, Jesus Christ, 3 bishops in a row.
Yeah.
Now, have you been a part of solving a crime or an investigation?
I don't know if I've ever had my detective skills put to the use, but I think we're kind of similar in this, that we have that hero complex.
Oh yeah,
where it's like if we see something happening, we have to intervene. Like I mean, there's been like plenty of times on the subway when like a young woman is being accosted, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die if I defend her, so I guess I'm gonna die now.
That you're right. That is true. Like I will say, New York has crystallized what is intervenable for me or not. Like whenever there's some dumb thing where like if it's a woman getting accosted, it's like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll be like, hey, like I'll stand there just looking big and stop whatever's happening. But if it's something dumb, like when I see like a fight between 2 people, I'm like, they're just talking, like let them have it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, if you have lived your life by the hero's code, you can
fucking nerd. You fucking nerd.
You can discern. Like I remember one of the first year I was living in New York, I was walking to Madison Square Park, and these 2 young people were yelling, a boy and a girl, and they were yelling at each other very loudly. And I was just like, fuck this shit. And what a bunch of assholes. I walked by them, and then this like TV crew popped out, and they all had cameras and stuff, and they were like, how come you didn't help that young lady? I was like, she was yelling at him too.
Wait, you were involved in that?
Yeah,
in like a TV.
Like they were
one
like,
of those...
there was a woman in danger and you didn't help her. I was like, he wasn't physically threatening her. Like they were yelling about like somebody cheated on somebody. I was like, she was giving it back to him. So I'm like, they were just 2 assholes yelling in a park. Take that shit in private. Why do I got to fucking deal with it?
Why did they show that clip on the show? Did they use it? I would.
No,
I think
didn't.
that makes sense.
I
They're
think it was
both shitty.
I think it was that John Quinones thing, but like I was making too good of a point where they couldn't use me because they just wanted some like sap to be like, I didn't want to get involved.
Yeah. There was one time that I got involved in a thing that, oh man, I don't know if I can talk about it. But I don't know if I can talk about it. But
and when I woke up, there was blood on my hands.
No. It was like a girl. This is Miami, South Beach. People get fucked up and they get wild. And I remember I was outside of a club, and there was like a random door popped open. This girl comes kind of like stumbling out, and this guy just goes whack and smacks the shit out of her. And like without thinking about it, this is also when I was like 290 of like football player, and I grabbed the guy and I like threw him up against the car. The girl jumped on my back and started hitting me. like she had like a fucking big old handprint on her face. Like he like palm striked her face. Like he and then she was just like, leave him alone. And I was like so confused by it. I was like, this did not work out the way I had it planned in my mind. I was a hero in this moment. And now it was like this weird exchange. And luckily I knew one of the cops that was like outside the bar.
So it went down like he hit her, so you immediately hit him?
I grabbed him and I threw him up against the car.
See, I think that's where you went wrong. I think you got to go verbal first. Because you don't know if it's like some sort of like they improv situation.
It's improv everywhere, man. It's like that no pants subway ride.
Yeah. I should have known they were thongs.
Yeah, I should have. No, I don't know.
South Beach. So
I'll be honest. I wasn't exactly like I didn't like compute. I wasn't doing that Sherlock Holmes thing where I was
just
like
say you're
breaking
on cocaine. That's all you got to say.
No. I was entirely sober. But it was just like a knee jerk reaction to grab because he was like over top of her. And I just kind of grabbed him and moved him. But it's like that element of, I don't know if that guy could have had a gun, a knife, or whatever. Like I could have, it could have been way worse. But it turned out this tiny Hispanic lady was just like wailing on the back of my head and neck.
You know what I realized is...
It sounds funny. It does. But I was very confused.
When I was talking about the verbal thing that reminded me, I realized every single time I've ever been in a fight or an altercation, I always yell out, hey! And then the thing happens. Like that's like my battle cry. Like, hey,
hey,
hey. I think it like conveys a lot. It's like, hey, is everything okay here? Like that's basically what I'm saying.
It could be interpreted a lot. It's like the aloha of the aloha of interreading. We'll pick a number between 1 and 14.
Oh, let's go 14.
14. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, in Gloucester, England, Fred and Rosemary West used their local pub, Prince Albert is the name of it, as a means to lure young women back to their house. While Rosemary ran a successful prostitution ring, Fred imprisoned women, some of which who appeared as the West's lodgers at... Oh, shit. It literally lists the address. I won't say that out loud. Fred was later charged...
It's not like it's on the internet.
I get it. It feels weird. Like, what if that's a real address now? Like, I would imagine so. Fred was later charged with the murder of a dozen women, but took his own life while awaiting trial. Rosemary was convicted for the death of her daughter Heather, among others. Even more shocking, the West friends and owners of Prince Albert, David and Pauline Williams, were also arrested for running their own child sex ring. What the fuck? Investigators believe there is a connection between the criminal activities of the Wests and the Williams. Yeah, no shit.
Is that the I've never seen it. Is that the premise for Downton Abbey?
That's what Downton Abbey is, right? Somebody who watches Downton Abbey, correct us.
Right. Right. Maggie Smith. She runs a child.
Jesus.
She runs Comet Pizza.
Oh my God. Will, once again, bringing the same energy. Thank you so much for being here. We'll promote something before you go.
No, if I can. Silver Linings, Precious Metal, host that show Fridays. Precious Metal, like 8 o'clock. Be there or something. I don't know, whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, leave this one because I got them numbered.
Wow.
Coming up next, you guys ready for your Mark's Criminal of the Evening? That's not that. Give it up for Elvis motherfucking Duran! Elvis Duran!
What's up, huh? Classic right here. Hey, we're back together again.
This is an old school Unsung Heroes right now.
What's up, kids?
What's up, brother?
Hey,
Do you
everybody. How's
have
everybody doing?
Elvis? I have to ask.
Yeah.
Are you a criminal?
I've done some shady shit, but I don't think I'm a crook.
Interesting. You're saying that
I used to be a superintendent, man, at a building. Seriously. I had the monitors. I was like, man, Tony Montana shit. I was checking people out. Like, I don't give a fuck. I seen that car for 3 days. I blow those motherfuckers back to Colombia. Like, that kind of shit. I was watching everybody. I timed my shit when I went into the elevators and went to the basement. Nobody ever saw me. I was sneaky shit. But I was watching everybody's moves and I called the coppers. That kind of shit.
So
sorry, guys. I was a fucking rat.
You were
I was
a
a
rat?
watchy man. I was a watchy man.
but you're like you're the guy in the chair. You're the surveillance.
Yeah, I was the surveillance guy. I was fucking this guy. If I don't know if you guys seen that movie Sliver, fucking one of the Baldwins. You missed that one. You missed that one. It's a '90s flick. It was like he had the monitors and he was checking everybody out, coming in, going.
Oh, I know that movie.
Yeah,
It's
but
like place at 1/5
the
Avenue.
hots for freaking this chick.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Basic. What's her fucking name from Basic
Sharon
Instinct?
Stone?
Sharon Stone.
Yeah,
That's right.
I remember
that movie?
Sliver, right?
Considered
Sliver.
it. Yep, that one. Anyway, I was for a moment in my lifetime, I was doing that shit, watching it, being fucking on call all the time, watching
Having sex
people
with Sharon
and
Stone?
seeing crime, but seeing shit go down. Dude, I saw some I wouldn't say this is like true, like crazy crime shit. But this is how cold-hearted shit was going down, man. Motherfuckers on Christmas time were knocking the Christmas tree down, man. Fuck this place.
In your building?
man, like fuck this place. Yeah. So I was always watching crime going down. I seen people getting fucked up in the front of the building and shit. And I would see coppers coming around and just breaking shit up. All the types of weird shit, man.
So you were like the unfiltered cops or like
Kinda,
live PD
it
or
was
whatever.
like, I'm also a cop. You know? But no, I can't remember anything like as far as like crime like I've ever done. Like, because I was a pretty good kid, man. I was cool. All I wanted to do was like fit in and be cool, like not get picked on by the bullies and the fucking stick-up kids or any shit like
That's
that.
true.
So you either had to be funny or you had to have skills, man. You had to have skills on some shit. You had to have a good rap. Like whatever, you had to have to get the gab or some shit to get out of yourself out of trouble. So I was like one of those kind of kids. I was just as much as a nerd, but I fucking went about it like on some like, yo man, I can dance. Yeah. He's like, oh, right, you cool, man. You cool.
What was the?
But I knew the cooks.
I would love to see that scene where it's just like, give me all your money.
Yeah.
Or how about
This.
a little soft shoe?
You turn into Gregory Hines from History of the World.
Like, look, I'm an excellent tap dancer.
Yeah. What is so you took part in you were a surveillance had a surveillance system
man.
and all that stuff.
And I wasn't proud of that shit, man.
Did you help solve crimes? Like, were you snitching on
most
people?
of the times that shit that shit just went about, man. Because the cops always showed up later.
I guess in our neighborhood,
that
in our neighborhood, you can't really get away with too much. There's always a cop around.
It's taking its time.
Yeah.
It's taking its time.
Do you have a favorite rip from the headlines true crime
Oh my God,
show or
dude.
movie or story?
No, like newspaper shit when the shit was all black and white shit, no color in it. Fucking the Carmine Galante fucking hit, the mob hit.
What was that?
Like in Bushwick in Brooklyn back in 1979. This guy was born in 1910 to 1979 till he finally got whacked. He did the whole pizza connection thing where he was just passing the coke and everything. He did a bid, whatever. He came out and he was known as the old man. And he always never did you ever see him without a cigar. And he was always going about doing the whole opening up pizzerias and just passing the coke and the heroin.
To launder stuff. Yeah.
And fucking oh my God, his fucking hit is legendary, dude. So like two like Sicilian, Italian, like real hitman, which they call zips back in the days. Like they just do anything.
God damn, New York is fucked.
These were his loyal soldiers. They finally turned on him, and they came about like on a rooftop kind of thing. He was Galante was just talking to his like two associates, and they fucking whacked him, Uzi'd them out. Dude, and he's just laying there with the fucking still with the cigar in his mouth, like a classic like explosion cigar,
like the cartoon explosion cigar.
Cartoon explosion.
Wow.
And he's just like that, like this. I was like, wow, sending a message. Talk about sending a message, man.
Were you alive?
I wasn't
for
even
that?
around, but just to know that story is just stupid.
Ah, man, that'd be dope if you were like, watching from my monitor.
That's just stupid gangster. That's stupid gangster. But I didn't know a character who did get whacked. I ain't gonna say his name, and I did get to know him. He was a classic character that if you like came across because you knew a couple of the other friends that were your friends, and then they knew him, and you was just doing the whole like he was just straight up be like, yo, who's this? He had these fat fucking hands, and he was just like, who's this?
Wait,
I was like, damn, I ain't never met you.
And he got.
He ain't never met me, but he was
Right.
like one of those classic characters. Went down the old classic
God.
route.
Elvis,
And
you always have the best New York
it's like,
fucking stories.
You're about to like rat, and then one morning, quack, the back of the head blew his face off. Crazy shit, man. It was crazy shit. It was just
Wow.
like, what?
I don't
But
think.
yeah, man, those gangster stories, man, just always like the kids have been
Yeah.
here back in the days in New York. We were all like, yo, what happened to this guy?
How many of those
Crazy crime
stories,
shit.
like, do you think inspire, like, because Mario Puzo claimed, like, when he wrote The Godfather, he said he made a bunch of shit up. Like, none of it. And how much do you think
I don't know about that.
is like based on like legends that
I don't
become
know
real
about
because
that,
people think
man.
it's real?
Really, I don't know about that, but all I could say is really I only know like as far as what people have told me
Right.
and what I've seen in the papers, and also saying, "Oh shit, I fucking knew that guy. I
Oh,
fucking
damn.
knew that guy." One of the saddest stories, dude.
All right,
2003 fucking blackout. I was hanging out with a homeboy. He went by Optimus, whatever, like Optimus Prime. You know, he was a cool cat. You know, he was like down with the Zulu Nation and all that shit. That one night that he just had like that rough, and you know, like a month later or some shit, he got shot in the back type shit. And I was like, and he was in the fucking front page. I was like, yo, I fucking was hanging out with that guy
Wow,
a month
that's-
ago.
that's
smoking
scary
a
to
blunt.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was haunting and weird. You
The
know,
only thing I have to compare that to is like when I worked in the ER and I saw somebody I knew come in, like on a
Yeah,
stretcher or
yeah,
something
man,
like that, and I'd
that's
just be like,
crazy,
oh,
man.
fuck. You know, there's that weird moment of panic.
dude, I got another story, a little classic one right here.
I don't know if we have enough time.
Yeah,
but-
all right, man. I got a couple of bodies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of bodies.
Well, let's clarify.
We're
Jesus.
talking about true crime, you son of a bitches.
I could listen to you tell these fucking stories.
Yeah, no. All
stay
right, let's
tuned
move it
for-
on. Let's move it on. What do you want to promote? What do you want to promote?
No. Stay tuned for bonus episodes with fucking Elvis Duran of him just telling
Thanks.
about people getting whacked.
Yeah,
Just every story.
whacked.
Elvis, would you like to promote anything before you go?
Man, Cricket Crave, Will Watkins, Mike Mercadal, and everybody that's in the building.
Classic.
Yo, what up? What up? What up?
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elvis.
Peace.
Oh, yeah, just put that right there. Put that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
That was a compliment. Can't drop it, mics.
Coming up to the stage, give it up for Alex Murray.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. I didn't know what else to talk about.
Wireless. You go anywhere.
How are we enjoying the wireless mics? Is this
I
working?
like it.
There you go.
Yeah, all right.
I might get interviewed from out here.
Here you go.
What are you
I
talking
see you,
about?
baby.
That's
Look
great.
at the mobility.
Yeah, man. I'm everywhere.
Me and your chick.
Commit crimes all over this building with
Elvis,
this
I'm turning your
microphone.
mic off, for fuck's sake. Good God. You're talking to the
done.
crowd straight into the microphone like it.
I'm done.
Okay.
He does this to me. He
yeah.
does this to me.
Yeah. Our guest,
Yay!
Alex Murray. Welcome to the show.
What up?
Do you, I have to ask, are you in fact a criminal?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I done crimes.
Shame on you.
I done, the same little petty bullshit everybody else does. But for a while in my 20s, I ran like a significant amount of drugs from Atlanta to Nashville, Tennessee.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, dangerous.
Wait.
Yeah.
Is the statute of limitations up on this? Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Probably.
Wow.
I don't know.
I know. Look, we're friends.
Nothing ever happened. I just did it.
We're friends. I know you enjoy your chemical
weed. It's all
substances.
weed.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also know that in the past you've done other things and stuff like that. I didn't know you were El Chapo. What's the redneck El Chapo?
It's fucking El Chapo.
El Chapo.
I'm El Cheapo.
Fucking El Chapo over there. Nah, I mean like
I never paid for
Just
drugs
saying.
in my life. I'm El Cheapo.
yeah, El Cheapo, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, basically, we just like shit dried up in Nashville, and a friend of a friend was like, "I know a guy in Atlanta," and so I like went down, and I wasn't gonna get like a little bit of weed for myself, so I bought a goodly amount, and I brought it back, and then we smoked it all, and then
So to not be on the podcast with your hands, how big of a amount are we talking about?
like the first time,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
the first
Wow.
time, an ounce, the first time an ounce,
Oh, sure.
and
It doesn't sound like a lot now because weed is such a.
well, the second time somebody knows you're going down, so they want some. So you come back with 2, and then fucking smash cut to 6 months later, and you're like, okay, if I get pulled over, I've got like 12 felonies in my trunk right now.
Wow.
Tennessee doesn't fuck around with any of that.
Yeah. I know it's super strict there.
Like in Tennessee, a gram of marijuana, which is like fucking little kid
Marijuana.
drugs,
Yeah.
right? That is fucking playground ass amounts of weed. And Ryan Papazi's probably confiscated more than that before, and then enjoyed.
Yeah. Nice.
Dude, that's fucking
Bring
traveling
it to
weed, right?
school.
A gram, that's fucking Subway worthy easy. Yeah, dude, that's nothing.
School.
And but like Tennessee, they don't give a shit, and it's hilarious because so much is grown there. Like the Tennessee ATF is just like they're like cutting down football fields and burning football fields worth every day, and they're like, man, we can't make a dent. So stop being assholes, guys. Let everybody get high. Tennessee.
Yeah, all of Tennessee that listens to this show. I'm saying
If you-
all of
if
Tennessee
you
listens.
are.
Yeah.
Just fucking cut it out.
Tennessee lawmakers.
But yeah, I mean, basically,
big Unsung Heroes fans.
Yeah, right. But basically, yeah, it got to all of a sudden I was like, oh Jesus, I'm doing crime. Like I was just going to get drugs. I was just like, yeah, and like in a movie, all of a sudden you're
I love that
in
you-
deep and you're just like
An
it
accidental
occurred to
drug
me-
trafficker.
And like, but you know what? I'll be goddamned if I didn't like go to AutoZone and have them check the car and then like make sure all my lights worked and make sure everything was cool and like would get my shit
The
serviced.
safest driver
I
in
wasn't
the
gonna
world.
break down with 12 fucking felonies in the trunk and then like I like thought about where I was gonna hide it and for sure I was basically Han Soloing, right?
You
Just
were totally
smuggling.
Han Soloing, yes.
I could make that fucking run in like That was like 15 parsecs.
I was gonna go Dukes of Hazzard. So like I was
It
like,
actually was very Dukes of well, Smokey and the Bandit. If we're gonna get down to it,
because then you got to run from the you got to run from the law.
yeah, the Duke boys were just doing vandalism with fireworks and shit. Smokey was running
they were running
drugs.
moonshine, no?
Yeah, hooch, but it was illegal drugs at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that, and it was stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been a part of solving a crime, an investigation?
I keep sitting here and thinking about it, and like, not.
Have you never solved
not
a
really.
mystery?
I think like in a crime solving team, I'm probably Shaggy. I'm probably gonna be like, what's going on?
Getting high and eating
you guys are gonna
sandwiches?
figure out what's going on at the oat milk. Cool. Me and Scoobs are gonna go eat a sandwich.
I always love that there's always fresh sandwich fixins.
Oh, I've got a favorite true crime story.
You do?
Of
We
my
don't have to go
own,
to the list.
if you're
Let's
going to
do
the
it.
list.
Go for it.
Does anybody remember this? This is some good Georgia shit while I'm sticking on brand. In 2002, a lady in Northeast Georgia was walking her dog, and she found a skull, like a human skull.
As
in
you
the
do.
ground,
Sure.
like you do.
Georgia
she called
shit.
the cops. She's like, fuck, skull. Called the cops, and the cops show up, and the skull was on the grounds of a crematorium. Does anybody else remember? This was a big story at the time.
Remember.
In
Wait, the
2002,
crematorium?
the dude's name is Brent Marsh, and he had inherited a crematorium from his dad. And the cops show up, and they're like, "Mr. Marsh, we need to check the property. Somebody found his skull." And he was like, "How much you need to check?" And they were like, all of it. And
yes, all of it now.
He was like, okay. And they just started pulling bodies out of everywhere.
What?
Hundreds. There were bodies in he had stuffed a bunch of bodies into a septic tank and thrown it in the lake. He had there were boxes apparently piled up that he was sticking bodies in. So what this guy was doing, he said that his incinerator had broken, but he was just taking bodies in.
That's good.
Not cremating them.
Wow.
Disposing them of them on his property, and then filling an urn up with whatever
cigarette butts,
dude,
dirt,
and sealing it, and then people were paying him lots and lots of money to shovel garbage into a fucking tin can and hand it to bereaved ones.
So the incinerator broke, and he was just
No,
making
but the
do.
incinerator for sure fucking did not break. It was broken, but he was lazy. He inherited the place from his dad.
Wow.
And they sort of, they still haven't really figured out. He's in jail, but they were like, why? And he was like, oh no, this is hard.
Really? Wow.
He just sort of was like, I don't really know how to do this, and I don't know how to ask anybody. And I guess it's just like the fucking drug runs. You throw one body in the thing, nobody gets hurt, and then you're like, all right, well, everybody's happy. I guess we'll just do this every time. And then all of a sudden, smash cut to him going I've got so many bodies.
Wow.
This is the main crematorium that serviced Chattanooga, Tennessee, and a whole lot of northern Georgia and northeastern Alabama. It was a huge crematorium. He was getting 4 or 5 bodies in a day. And it's one of those things where dude, it was probably more work to hide all these bodies than to figure out how to work an incinerator, you moron.
I also who wouldn't want to buy sell it? I'm sure the government will pick it up or something like that to
just get rid of your giant crematorium. Yeah, I don't know. That's and every time I just read a couple articles because I was trying to refresh myself, and every police spokesperson or anytime anybody was interviewed, everyone was like, I don't know, man. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
whatever.
We don't know, man. We asked him, and he was like, it just didn't fucking. He was just like, I don't know. It seemed easy.
I also love the idea of the answer being, well, how much do you need to check?
How much did you check?
What area?
Fucking all of it, sir.
Yeah.
Empty your pockets.
The
dog.
most suspicious answer of all time. Empty your pockets. Which one?
Yeah, he's in jail as fuck.
Yeah,
he's still there.
That's a fantastic. That's a good one. I also like that it.
Actually, what's funny too is, they ran him up for stealing. He was stealing the bodies. He wasn't killing anybody. He was stealing the bodies, and then I think it was.
Did they bust him for littering?
They bust him maybe
right.
Probably some sort of
in my mind,
environmental
that's gotta be
crime
littering
there, right? Yeah. Yeah, you can't just huck a body wherever.
Improper disposal of stuff.
I learned about that because a friend's horse died one time. I was like, well, we just bury it. And he was like, no, you got to there are channels, man. You can't just fucking
just
huck a
bury a
horse
horse.
corpse out in the field. That's
Yeah.
not cool.
Put some vulture
Causes
food out.
pri- yeah, causes problems,
Circle
man.
of life and whatnot. Yeah. Get some hyenas over here.
I was like, what if we take 6 or 7 horses, shove them in a septic tank, and just no?
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked for that other guy.
Septic tank, 5 stars on Amazon.com.
5 stars on Amazon.com.
Septic tank.
Listen, I just want to say the worst fucking thief in true crime is a fucking Nintendo cartridge thief and fucking G.I. Joe thief. That's true crimes. That's all I wanted to say.
Are you mad at someone from when you were 8?
Yeah. He's been harboring resentments.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to
What
say when
true
you were
crime
done.
do I really? Joey Butterfuck,
crime.
you son of a
It's
bitch.
true crime. You took my cartridges.
Yeah. Alex, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
Sure, absolutely. Listen to the Mystic Lasagna podcast where we solve people's problems by using randomly generated Garfield cartoons.
That's right. That's 100%
And,
true.
Watch Millennium streaming on Amazon Prime and check out Wine and Sleeves the first Monday of every month at Halyards.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Alex Murray.
My man.
Coming up next, give it up for... No, we used you already. I got to stop putting these names back in my pocket. Give it up for Ryan Papazia.
Oh, yeah. There he is. I like it.
Handed that.
Yeah, right?
Wait, did you swap out mics?
I
you?
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what's up. I've only had like 2 beers.
Yeah. Ryan?
I had a kombucha. I'm fucking fired.
Oh,
dude.
shit.
I'm wired.
Those cultures
Yeah.
working their way through you.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. Look, this is like one of those things of I don't know what kombucha is, but it's been so long that I'm too afraid
It's
to
like
ask.
yogurt soda.
It's
pretty
just
good.
fermented like
Yogurt.
molasses.
Dude, that's
Yogurt soda. God.
great. Dude, that shit's that's hilarious. Dude, I was silently laughing. That's
What,
yogurt soda.
Ryan, I have to ask: Are you a criminal?
Gotta be.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Fucking done a couple things. TP'd houses. You know, no.
Vandalism and stuff.
Actually, the thing that was probably the most, like in terms of the most damage, was I used to work at a auto shop, at like a tire shop, and one of the guys one time brought me to the back, and he was like, "Hey man, do you want to make some extra money?" And I was like,
Run.
Yeah. I was like, "Hell yeah, man!" And we were like friends, and so what we ended up doing was anytime we had to take out what we called the dead tires, so the tires that we took off the cars, and we bring them to the side. But instead of taking the dead ones out, we just took ones from the back, and then we would tell the boss like, "Oh, we're taking the dead ones out," and we brought them out to the side. And then that night, we would come back, hop over to where like the dead tire area was, and then take those and sell them on Craigslist. And dude, it was crazy. I didn't know how much. I only stole like maybe like 8 or something.
$3,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
like that. There's money in that. This
JV
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
dude. I'll tell you how much money that was. So basically, one time our manager, this guy's fucking great. He's this huge bald, like really buff dude. And one time he goes in the back, and I just hear, "God damn it! Damn it! Jesus fucking Christ!" And we're all just like looking around, and he comes out, he's sweating. He's like, "There are 71 tires missing. 71 fucking tires missing."
What the fuck? Hold on. What? That means that does not divide evenly by 4. That means
It doesn't. It means one, so it's like fucking 3. We'll take 3 at a time. But so then the best line, I fucking died laughing. I didn't like go in the break room after he said this. He goes, "So I'll tell you one thing, man. When I find out who did this, I'm not gonna fire him. I'm gonna kick his ass." I was like, holy fuck. Yeah. So
also,
somebody
did he just like decide one day to count the tires?
Well,
like
he
he just
knew-
assumed everything was fine.
So the reason why he caught on to this is because on the computer screen, the sales guy would be like, "Oh yeah, we got those," and then when he would print out the report, we'd go in the back and be like, "No, these aren't here." So that happened a lot. So that's where he started checking.
Yeah, suddenly it's like every time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look out
every
for
time.
Look out for the paper trail every
Yeah.
time.
71 tires, and so basically to sum that up, with an average of 2, because we a lot of times took truck tires because they were like $200-$300 each.
Sure. That's
so
our 71st tire.
Yeah.
You-
So
We're
Yeah, about that
bordering
big
on grand
motherfucker
larceny
over there.
at this
Yeah,
point.
it
We're
was
bordering on some like a legit crime.
So yeah, this is all fake, by the way.
Me too. So was all mine. I didn't do any.
Yeah, I didn't do it. But it came out to
It's a podcast fee, so we're joking.
14 grand is how much.
What?
Fuck it
Yeah.
is.
And what was great,
Hypothetically,
dude,
14 grand.
It got so crazy at one point because we had a security camera. So we're like, oh, how are we going to deal with the security camera? And we just, one day, we just fucking hucked a rock at it and it broke the security camera. And our manager was too much of a drunk to fix it because he's like, I don't want to fix this shit. And then the floodgates opened and everyone was stealing everything from that place.
Doesn't that mean that there is security cam footage of you like hefting a rock and like looking dead ass into the camera and like shrugging and being like, fuck it, whip.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly like how. I don't even know, like he never checked that part, but it was weird. He would, like I said, he was drunk most of the time, so that's why we got away with this.
Sure. That
And
makes sense.
this is how he would drink so much that like during his lunch break, he's like, dude, I need you to drive me get more beer. And I was like, I'm still working. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. So I would drive my boss.
Priorities.
Work related, son.
Yeah. And you get fucking wrecked. We all get wrecked, man. We used to get so drunk that like we had the diabetic kid pulling the cars because we were too drunk.
Wow.
Because the diabetic kid didn't drink or smoke. So we're like, well, go out there and get the cars.
Yo,
You're
nerd.
the only one who can fucking. Because
Shoot up and pull us around.
This sounds like the most fun job. How is this not a sitcom on FX at this point?
It was the best 2 years of my life. The amount of I made so much money. I made a ton of money. I got fucking drunk all the time. It was awesome, dude. I stopped getting high because the thing is, when you're drunk, you're like, oh yeah, we're drunk. This is fun. But one time I got high and a family came in. They brought their minivan, so I was fucking high as shit. And I do the tires, and they drive away. And you're supposed to like torque the tires down with a torque wrench. I was so high, I was like, "Oh fuck, did I do that?" And I just see this family like driving away, kind of like, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then
bless you, Ryan. Have a nice day. Thank you so much, son.
dude, I
Thank you
think
for
they
taking
tipped me.
care of our safety.
Yeah, they tipped me too, and I was like, "Oh fuck." So I stopped getting high after that. But drunk is, man, getting drunk and working on cars is the most fun. I don't know. Do you ever do that?
Fucking USA, baby.
Yeah, that is like a primal thing of like everyone gathers around a car and there's beer.
I mean, you've got like big ass power tools too, right?
Oh,
You've
yeah,
got,
we
like,
had-
fucking pneumatic drill when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Well, we had
Hell
this thing.
yeah.
It was so great. So we had this thing. It's called a cheetah, and it's like this big. Think of like
I
a.
already love it.
Yeah, it's like a big. You put compressed air into it, so you get it up to like maybe 150 pounds of compressed air, and there's like a spout, and you had like a little valve, or it was like a bigger valve, and you would turn it, and then it would just shoot this like compressed air. And we would put tire valve, like the tire stems. What is it called? The valves,
Yeah.
valve stems. And we put like 50 valve stems in the cheetah, and just aim it at each other and fucking fire it, and then just get like, it was like a shotgun blast of like used valve stems in your face, and that shit was.
God damn, Ryan, that sounds like fun. I don't even. I don't know.
Hey Jimmy, what?
Yeah, yeah, and then the diabetic kid complained because we picked on him a lot. Yeah.
Ryan, pick a number between 1 and 12.
Did anyone do one yet?
No.
Fuck, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Number
let's
one,
do it.
baby.
In 2010, police arrested Rodney Alcala, a professional photographer, and brought him to trial for an incredibly expansive list of crimes. By the time prosecutors had tallied up all of his potential victims, they discovered that Alcala had raped and possibly murdered over 100 women and children between 1978 until his capture. Wow, you really picked number one, motherfucker. That's a lot.
100?
Yep.
It's more than 71.
During the investigation, police uncovered photographs of potential victims and continued to charge Alcala as his identities of victims were confirmed. Even after he was sentenced to death in a 2010 trial, the weirdest bit of Alcala's crime spree, though, was his 1978 appearance as a bachelor on the dating game.
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
That guy murdered.
The guy who's on the dating game.
He was on the dating game. He's a serial killer on the dating game, where he was actively murdering people while he was on the show.
Yeah, I think there was something. I actually read that story, and I believe that he actually won.
Yes,
and,
he won.
And the girl chickened out on the first date. Like
Good call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she got a bad vibe about the guy.
She got a bad vibe about the guy. That makes a lot of sense.
Dude, man. If there's anything, just to tie this in, especially with bad vibes. Dude, if Lays are listening, fucking, if you got bad vibes, fuck it. I don't care if you hurt his feelings. So, like, my mom used to be a therapist, and she had a guy come in one time, and so really weird vibes. And so she's like, you know what? I don't think I can help you. I'll refer you to someone else. That guy ended up being a serial killer.
God damn.
Whoa.
Yeah. So listen to yourselves. All right.
Listen to your guts,
I don't
everybody.
care if he was on the
Listen to
fucking
your
dating
guts.
show game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rules of the show say I have to date them.
Yeah.
What would you like to promote before you go?
So I have a show at the end on the 31st of January. So the last day at Late Bar in the Lower East Side called Good Times, Bad Times. Yeah, we're having some fucking fun people come out. So
And go self-help
Hell yeah.
yourself.
and go self-help yourself. We're having Mike on the podcast.
Yeah,
So,
we'll be doing that soon.
Yeah.
Live from a van down by the river. apparently.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ryan Papazian. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ray DeVito. What's up, buddy? How are you? Good to have you back. It's been a minute.
Yeah, good times.
Welcome to the show. You've been listening. Ray, I have to ask, are you in fact a criminal?
The only time that I've ever been like close to arrested is when I played basketball as a teenager. We would break into gyms
Sure.
and
to get to gym time.
to just play, and they would always. I never got arrested, but they would arrest the black kids.
Really?
Yeah,
From the
that's
beginning.
Lakewood, Ohio, for you.
And so, I mean, it does sound like wholesome Americana, like when you hop the fence to go play basketball or whatever, like you break into,
Yeah.
like you're not doing anything bad. You're not like fucking the gym up. You're literally just using it what it's meant to be used for.
That's it. Yeah, but just because it was closed.
Would they let you finish your set before you fucking?
No, they would get it. But it was more like if you did not live in Lakewood, like they would. I've been in the police car and like taken down to the station, but it's always the kids that were not actually from Lakewood, and they would get arrested. One kid couldn't become a cop because of
shit.
it. Like
That's
years
fucked
later.
up. I
For
don't
playing
like that.
basketball.
Yeah, that reminds me of like when I love the documentaries of like the skateboarding in California when they would hop fences and go skate pools, and they would do like skateboarding in the pools in the 70s and the early 80s. And they would get arrested. Like they would arguably they would fuck up the pools with their skateboards because it was a drought. They would drain them.
Yeah, we weren't messing anything up. We're just kids, not causing trouble, just playing basketball. It's like, nah, we can't have that.
We're even being healthy. We're active
Yeah.
children. Like what?
Yeah, doing nothing wrong, not committing crimes. Right? No, you still get arrested.
Have you ever been involved in solving a crime? Have you ever investigated any kind of mystery?
I think I talked about it here. My roommate that killed his mom.
Oh, is
Which
that?
I- yeah,
that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I would love to revisit because that was
right.
that was on the other show.
But I think I have something you would rather talk about if you would like to.
Whatever you want. It's your time.
I played basketball with R. Kelly in 2003.
What?
Yeah, you want to talk about that? He's a weird fucker. He's a weird
Yeah,
son
he's
of
a
a bitch.
criminal.
Yeah.
he's
this-
a criminal.
Yeah. By the
Wait.
way, like people don't look at me, but I play basketball, and it's not because I have any talent. It's more so the fact that I have ADHD and have to get the energy out of me. So I
Sure.
play 6 hours a day from like the time I was 15 to like 23. And so you become good just because
Just
You-
putting
you
the
play
time
all
in.
the
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
10,000
Yeah.
hours of whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
yours
So-
was basketball. What was? How did that happen? Like, how did you get involved in playing? Was it here in New York?
No, Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I'm originally
Sure,
from.
sure.
The Omni on West 130th Street. A lot of like I played against Earl Boykins, who played for the Nuggets. I played against him a bunch in high school. Ruben Patterson, who played for the Trailblazers. There's some players. Who
Yeah,
come out
a
of
lot of
Cleveland.
people come from Ohio.
And so I got invited to play with R. Kelly. R. Kelly was coming one afternoon, and they needed dudes to like play with him. And I was like, "Fuck!" And this is like 2003ish. So after he peed on the girl and everything, and
After it had come out, the tape had come out.
after all that
Wow.
shit, I still think I was a huge fan of R. Kelly. Like Ignition, great song. Fucking
It's a weird like the whole separating the art from the artist because there are still people who like they're like, yeah, he's a fucking monster, but then like Remix to Ignition comes on and they're like, I love this song. I
yeah,
don't-
World's Greatest is a great song. I believe I can. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great song.
It's
fucking
it's
great
a-
song.
It's hard to deny that those are good
Yeah.
tunes, but he's a fucking creep,
So I'm excited to go to play with R. Kelly, and so I get there, and there's only like There's only like 10 of us there. It's like purposely like closed off. And so I'm on the same team as R. Kelly. It's me, R. Kelly, his 2 dudes. He's got 2 buddies.
Sure.
And they probably played college basketball somewhere. Like they could play. They're like 6'5" ish. By the way, this story is nothing like the Chappelle story where they play with Prince and he's like makes some pancakes at the end.
Yeah, gay blouses.
Yeah. So it's way shittier. So his 2 buddies who probably play college basketball somewhere, like they could play. And then my buddy Pat, who at the time played at Teal College, so he could play. He's a rebounder. And so we get there. By the way, we're there like 5 hours. His 2 buddies didn't say a goddamn word to me the entire time. Like they didn't talk to anybody.
They describe all of the R. Kelly stuff. To be fair, I did not watch the documentary thing, but I haven't watched it yet. But they do like everything that's come out about him. It feels like there's like a cult around him.
Yeah,
like his
it was
employees
weird as
are
shit.
like brainwashed.
Yeah.
And there's like this whole weird hierarchy that you have to don't look at people in the eye and shit like that.
They were weird dudes. Like, they didn't talk. Like I'd say hello or whatever. Like talk anyway. But they could play. But here's it. We're playing full court, and every time they would like get a rebound, like an offensive rebound, and they could easily go back up for an easy layup, they wouldn't. They would take the ball, dribble it out to the top of the key, and hand it to R. Kelly.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then just set picks for him so he could like shoot outside shots, which he could shoot a little bit. He didn't drive to the basket or play any defense.
No, but it wasn't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This isn't a basketball podcast. I have no idea what. But basically the point of it is that he was give me the glory. This is my game.
Yeah, it's pickup basketball. If you want to do what they were doing, just go on another court and just shoot around by yourself and let them get you rebounds and like pass the ball to you. Like this is stupid. It's full court basketball.
Did they pay you to play with them?
No. I just went there to play pickup basketball, and I was excited, but it was weird as shit. So that's going on. It was so weird. My buddy Pat, who's also on our team, every time he get a rebound, he would dribble it out and give the ball to R. Kelly. Like he started doing it, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like
Wow.
you don't know this dude. He's not taking you on tour with him. Like, what the hell are you doing?
He's paying those other 2 guys.
Apparently,
for sure.
he's paying that. Yeah. So it's weird as shit. And like this one time, like I got like a loose ball, and I have an easy fast break layup where I can just go lay it in myself. And just to be sarcastic and just break the levity, also I purposely like dribbled underneath the basket, then went all the way back out to half court and handed the ball to R. Kelly, thinking I would get a laugh or something. And he just kind of looked at me like, "It's about fucking time." Like kind of like he just expected that shit. It was weird as fuck. It was.
Did you see? Was there? I guess like a basketball weirdo, but you didn't see any other creepiness. Were there like girls hanging around?
No,
with him?
they were not girls.
Because I've heard that story as well. That he like will have girls watching him play basketball who are like supposed to be there, like they have to be there.
No,
Like-
he didn't have. It was just him and his buddy. It was just weird. Like that's
guess
not how
he's-
you do basketball. Like
Yeah.
that's not. You don't fucking.
Right.
It's a team game. It's like
he's a fucking psycho crazy person. Like he's
passing
a
the
rapist.
ball is also part of basketball.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're allowed
I like
to
how
pass
you're
the
so
ball.
mad about the fundamentals of basketball.
Yeah.
You're like, this guy just doesn't not a team player. You know.
Well, I was also pissed off because like after we're done playing, my buddy Pat got a picture with him, and I was like, oh shit, like it's still fucking R. Kelly. So I was like, hey man, can I get a picture? And he fucking wouldn't take a picture with me.
He said no.
He said no.
That's what you get. You
Apparently,
should have
I
passed
was
him
on
the ball.
punishment.
You should have passed him the ball.
Yeah.
Pick a number between 2 and 12.
11.
11. As of 2016, former mortician Bernie Teed is in a Texas lockup for the 1996 murder of Marjorie Nugent, a well-to-do widow whom Bernie shot to death before hiding her body in her freezer for several months. Perhaps the strangest bit of the story is that in the wake of Nugent's disappearance, no one seemed to care. Thanks to her reputation for being somewhat of a curmudgeon, her disappearance drew no concern.
That happened with Chris Cornell, right? When he died, or not Chris Cornell, there's a famous singer that happened to. Like he was in his apartment for like 3 weeks and no one like gave a shit because he didn't talk to anybody.
There was a few people that have
Who the
isolated themselves.
fuck?
There was that guy from
Not Chris
NXS that
Cornell.
killed himself by choking himself, Michael Hutchins.
Yeah, it wasn't him. Maybe the dude
from Linkin Park.
No. Was it the Alice in Chains lead singer who cut himself off from society?
Lane Staley, yeah.
It was,
that one
I think
hurt
it
me,
was
man.
that
I
dude,
loved Alice in Chains. Yeah, apparently, yeah. They only found it later on. Blah 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 blah. And then Jack Black portrayed Teed in the 2011 movie Bernie.
Richard Linklater
Yeah, it's apparently he was released in 2014 pending a second trial. In 2016, his original sentence of 99 years was reinstated. He's back in. Yeah, apparently, according to this article. But yeah, what kind of a piece of shit do you have to be where you're murdered and people are like, "Where's this lady?" Never mind. No one looked for her. That's fucked up.
Just people like, thank God she's gone.
Yeah. Ray DeVito, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks,
What would you
buddy.
like to promote before you go?
The show here every fourth Saturday. Doogie Horner and I shoot the shite at the creek.
Shoot the shite at the creek in the cave in Long Island City, Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ray DeVito. Thank you so much. Is that it? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for, actually, Igor Martinez. Did you give me your name? Oh, that's what it was. I just gave you the heads up. Yeah.
Hey,
Igor.
baby. What's
Toby will
up?
be up next. Brother, welcome to the show.
What's up?
I have to ask.
That's gonna be hard
Are
to follow.
you a criminal?
Yeah, I think so. I have been arrested.
You have been arrested. Is it something
Yeah.
you can talk about? Is there a
Yeah,
pending trial?
yeah. It was underage drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was. Yeah. The arrest was like the minimal part of it. But first, I love shoplifting. Oh my
you
god.
and Joe. I mean, there's. I remember as a kid, like
Love it.
I really like would get a rush from stealing from like the school cafeteria, and I would like shove shit in my pockets.
Yeah.
I remember I never got caught. I got caught, but then I would like I remember I learned how to pull my pocket out in a way that showed that it looked empty, but really there was stuff in it still.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I was, you pick things up, the tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
I'm a professional thief.
That's great that you never got caught. I used to, you know what I used to steal? I used to steal a lot of Under Armour men's underwear.
That is very specific.
Yeah, I would go into not Dick's.
You didn't
Sports
sniff
Authority.
it, right? It's
No,
not you.
no.
All right.
Even if I did, it
That's a
smelled
different-
great.
I would steal Under Armour underwear from my neighbor Kevin, and yeah.
No, I would go to a Dick's fucking Sports Authority, and then I worked out a lot, and I would go grab it and then go in the fitting room. I was like, if they catch me, I'd be like, well, how did you know I was stealing it, you fucking perverts? You got cameras in the
That's fucking pretty good.
Yeah,
That's not bad. Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
because they never had the sensors on them.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. I get what you're
So that's
saying.
what.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, luckily it never went down to that. But then I don't know what was going to be like. Oh, you want to call me out? You fucking pervert.
Yeah.
What was I going to do?
Hey, kid, take off your underwear.
Yeah.
This is fucking genius, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyone who hears, I might try this.
And my friend, oh yeah, go ahead. If it just make sure it doesn't have a sensor. But my friend he was a heavy dude. This was the only underwear that we weren't like sharing underwear, but I gave him one because he found out. This was the only underwear where he wasn't like sweating his balls off with.
Oh, they're great underwear. If we can get sponsored by Under Armour, that would be great. Hey, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, we risked
you can do the
we risked
podcast.
jail for your product.
You could do the podcast just in your Under Armour underwear.
I would do it if they sponsored
Yeah.
us.
And my buddy was like, and I would just give him.
That would be the theme of the week. Everyone's got to fucking everybody take your pants off. Everybody
Yeah.
get in your underwear right now. Yeah, get MeUndies. They sponsor podcasts.
Shit.
What is just to quote Nate Bargatze's joke about how Under Armour is like it just highlights all your problem areas.
Yeah,
you just want to know what you need to fix.
It
Just wear
casts
heard
a
that one.
shadow
That's
on
pretty good.
every fold.
That's pretty funny.
Igor, have you ever solved a crime or investigated a mystery?
No, there's part of me hates Brazilians. Okay,
What?
Be- yeah.
What the sexiest
Make it
people.
sense. Make it make sense.
So I had this neighbor who was a Brazilian kid, and he was like the villain in a fucking Brazilian movie. He was just like the shittiest fucking bully kid. He like just didn't even go to school. He was just dog shit. But we found out that there was you know how like they were all gated communities and
Sure.
suburbs. There was one home that a family had moved out, so it was completely empty and it was waiting to be sold. And
that is a great. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was a great childhood crime.
yeah.
Trespassing into
absolutely.
abandoned homes and construction sites.
Well, that's what this.
I stole so much shit from
Hell
construction
yeah.
sites. What?
That's what this kid did. He barged into this home and he took a shit right in the middle of the living room. There was just a big turd laying
I
there.
like how he's blaming all Brazilians for
that's
that, by the
why-
way.
and
You know how Brazilians do taking shit in living rooms?
I know it's a problem.
You know,
I know it's a problem.
You mean Johan?
Yeah.
But all of them, they're all living room shitters. Every single last one of them, you know. And then I was like, and he's just such a shitty kid.
That's the
And
most specific bigotry ever.
I know.
Where it's like, these fucking Brazilians taking their shits everywhere. no one gets the reference.
And
Like,
that's
what?
not even- Johan the shit. That's not even a Brazilian name.
Yeah.
That was pretty. All right, that's pretty shitty of me.
But if he was just like that would have been funny if he was a decent human being. You know, if he was a nice kid, I would have been like, oh, that's hilarious, whatever. But no, he was a shitty person. Like that, the fact that he shit didn't even have anything to do with it.
It's like when someone attractive flirts with you versus when someone ugly is flirting with you.
Right,
You're like,
exactly.
get the fuck away from me, you creep.
Yeah.
And then if they're attractive, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, this is
you
hilarious.
got good taste.
Good day, thank
Yeah.
you. So you're just saying that you hate Brazilians now because this kid took shits in an abandoned house.
It's gonna take a lot to convince me otherwise.
Pick a number between 2 and 12. Some are taken. All right. 7. In October 2000, 2 Texas women were murdered in a similar manner within days of one another. Neither woman had any known enemies. In fact, both families reported that the women were loving, kind, and professional. One a nurse and the other a loan officer. Living completely unconnected lives, they only had one thing in common. Both women were named Mary Morris. Police found both Mary Henderson Morris, 48, and Mary McGinnis Morris, 39, dead in their cars. An investigation into the matter turned up no evidence, and both cases remain unsolved. The prevailing theory is that Mike Morris, husband of Mary McGinnis Morris, hired a hitman to kill his wife. Unfortunately, the assailant made a mistake and targeted the wrong Mary Morris first.
Damn, but then he ended up killing the right one afterwards.
He's very thorough.
Yeah. He's like,
Boy, was he red in the face.
Yeah. On the
God.
dark web somewhere, there has to be like a Yelp for assassins. I wouldn't be. I would be surprised where he's literally like. But how bad must he feel? He's
3
like
stars.
He killed the wrong Mary Morris,
Yeah.
but it's like he got 5 stars because he went back and he corrected the
Yeah,
error.
yeah.
You know, hey, to make mistakes, everybody makes mistakes,
Yeah.
but hey, you got to correct him, and he did a good job of murdering. I got 2 Mary Morrises for the price of 1. You know,
That's really funny.
that's fucked up.
I would have probably hated that bitch anyways.
Yeah, I should probably. What would you like to promote before you go?
Nothing, man. Just come out to Creek and Cave and support live comedy.
The Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Igor
Yeah, baby.
Martinez. Closing out the show, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Toby Nelson. Thank you, Ray.
Damn, man. Cordless mics, baby.
Did you swap them out or did you take yours?
I just.
Hey, is this not a good mic?
No, you're good. Everything's. I just have them. I know which levels are which.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Toby, thank you for being here.
Hi.
We're talking true crime. Toby,
Oh, yeah, I know.
Are you, in fact, a criminal?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you talk about the crimes that you've committed?
I shoplifted and got arrested for it. That's when I had the weed that was in the jail toilet that I smoked and got E. coli poisoning from.
What'd you steal?
There's a A to C in that scenario.
There is indeed. Come see me do stand up sometime.
Yeah. What you used to shoplift from like
Oh my god!
Everything?
Oh god! I was really, really good at it until I got hubristic.
you start to get a little cocky. I think that's what
definitely.
happens.
I went back to the same store 3 times in one day.
Ooh, that's I advise against.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Very ambitious.
A friend of mine is banned from Kmart.
I'm banned from
Yeah.
Lomans.
You're banned from Lomans.
Yeah,
What were you stealing?
clothes and jewelry and makeup and shit.
She was
stuff.
Winona Rydering. She
I was. I really was. Yeah.
Oh, what?
And then also I have a DUI, and that's when I did 7 days in jail.
Oh boy, yeah, the DUI.
Yeah.
I do not co-sign. Like, smoke all the weed you want, even traffic it from other parts of the country if you want. But driving.
I'm not proud. I'm not proud of any of this.
No,
Like-
because what ends up happening is, like, I had a friend of mine that got busted for that, and it like fucked him up for like a long time.
It was extremely like, don't drink and drive just in general. I'm extremely lucky that I got caught because I was speeding. I didn't hit anything or
Right,
anyone.
right.
I was fine. No one was hurt. My car was fine. I just was speeding and fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So it was the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I was really.
Were they lenient because of that or no?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying that, like, thankfully, in terms of like my life and stuff,
Yeah,
like
of
nothing
course.
really bad happened.
Yeah.
But it really fucking blew. Luckily, I could walk to my job. And
Oh, yeah.
like
A friend-
if I hadn't been able to, it would
A
have
friend of
been.
mine had to get a hardship license, which means that you can only drive to and from school and work.
Yeah.
I would have been able to do that, but I know myself, and I know that I'd be like, well, I could go to the grocery store or like whatever, and then it would escalate.
Yeah, and then
so
you would have
I just said
revoked.
no, I'm not going to do it.
Have you ever been involved in solving a crime or investigating a mystery?
Yeah, constantly. It's literally like what
Let's talk about it. Boom. Talk about a lead-in.
Yeah.
What is your what's on the burner right now in terms of crime in the gossip world?
Obviously, Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen,
to catch a predator. He didn't pay taxes. Don't worry, he's not actually a diddler.
Damn it! I
know, but he was escorted from his home by the police.
How
so,
ironic
you know,
would have been if it is like
No,
Chris
that's
Hansen.
not fun. Ironic. That means that he touched kids.
Yeah, it's tragic. It would have been a tragedy if after.
Ironic nonetheless.
Yeah, still ironic.
No, but I mean, yes, he was escorted from his home by the police.
I became the thing I very sought to destroy.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying to
have
think of a
become
good
predator.
Ice-T joke about it, like, you know. But
Iced tea.
it's always like, you know, sit down, have some iced tea. You know,
Yeah.
like
They're
you're like, where what's her name go? And they're like, oh, she'll be right back. So what are you doing here? You know,
That I loved. There was always the Bill Burr had that bit where it's like, hey, they come in with like a bunch of like hard cider, and I'm being a fucking 8-year-old.
Smirnoff
You know,
Ice.
like, they're like super blatant about
I'd
it.
really like to see one of the Predators ice Chris Hansen. That'd be funny.
Clank. Oh shit! I gotta.
I don't mean kill him. It's when you present a Smirnoff Ice to someone upon bended knee and they have to drink it.
They have to drink it.
for the audience.
I've never understood that.
He has to drink it. Drink it.
Yeah.
And as he,
Drink it.
Oh my god.
he's like chugging it, and as soon as he starts chugging it, he like bolts for the door.
Yeah,
He's like,
exactly. That's what I would do if I was the
smoke and
Predator.
mirrors. What would you, what else you got? What's else in the
Well, actually,
current events?
Current events related. Sarah Kennedy and I are going to be recording our episode with NT on Tuesday.
Oh, wow, fantastic! I meant like plug away whenever you want. That's fine. I was just talking about more gossip.
Well,
more
I'm,
hot
I'm
goss.
saying so we're talking about what we're going to talk about.
Oh.
because she and I are sharing the show. It's basically like 50 minutes, and we give him stuff that we want to, we want to know about.
Right.
You know, so my main thing is what the deal is with Mel Gibson and who he's killed and where and
Yeah.
what. You know?
Do you know that story? Does everybody know that story?
No.
On the set of Apocalypto. Yeah. On the set of Apocalypto, Mel Gibson allegedly murdered a woman.
Yeah.
And it's been covered up since then.
Yeah.
And that's why all of his shit went downhill. Like he went really like crazy because I think the guilt is
killing him.
Is what's
That's so generous of you. That's
Well-
that never even occurred to me. I was just like, he's just horrible,
It's
and
the-
he does bad things. Oh no, Davos, not you.
He did 100%
Jesus
murder
Christ.
somebody. You have a
Yeah, he
wireless mic.
definitely
Take
did.
it with you.
I know. I'm going to.
He did 100% murder somebody. He is a fucking monster, but it's
Yeah.
definitely
I mean,
the
you've heard-
telltale heart of the.
Everyone's heard the shit that he said on the tape to his fiance,
Yeah.
like the mother of his child, where he's like, "I'm gonna kill you and bury you in the rose garden, but first you're gonna blow me."
That's the that
like,
should be the reason why you want to get famous now, right? Not the money, the ability to get
To
away with
kill.
whatever.
Seriously, yeah.
Yes,
I think
celebrity
a lot
gives
of these
you a
people
license
do.
to kill.
I think a lot of people do things like that. Yeah.
Oh, what was that guy Robert Durst or whatever?
Oh yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Kill them all, of course.
What was the guy?
Jinx.
Robert Blake. Robert Blake.
Oh, Robert Blake.
He
Okay.
killed a
I
lady.
was like, yeah, the Jinx.
OJ murdered that lady.
What were you asking?
Oh, why did Mel Gibson murder someone?
It's rough. Like she was a
Jew.
prostitute.
Rough sex,
a sex
baby.
worker.
Rough sex.
Yeah,
You got
so
that danger
he,
sex.
So suppose, like,
She's one of
the
the chosen
generous
people.
reading of it is that it was an accident. Another reading of it is they're in the fucking boonies in Mexico shooting this movie, and he knows he can get away with killing a woman who has no one looking for her.
Wow.
So there's two different readings of it, but that is the rumor, and it was published by NT years ago and then taken down like within a day, which never happens on like blind item sites, because it's basically seen as if you acknowledge the rumor, then it's giving it credence.
Well, that's that whole Streisand effect of this. If you try to get something off the internet, it just shines more light on it.
Exactly.
So because it raises suspicion on stuff.
So he might not want to talk to me about that specifically on the air.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going to tell him specifically ahead of time that's why I want to talk. That's why I want to ask
him
about it.
with the Mel Gibson murder.
Yeah, exactly. But so I might not end up talking about that specifically on the podcast, but you heard about it here. So that's
What if you Hannibal Buress Mel Gibson?
Yeah, what if you're responsible for his downfall?
I mean, I'm trying to. Like, has anyone ever seen like my online presence? Like, it's all like, read the book, read the motherfucking traitor Baruch Cormorant, and Mel Gibson killed a woman.
Yeah, she's got a brand. Toby's definitely got a brand.
Toby
on brand
is
Toby.
Definitely a thing.
Okay.
Would you like to go to the list of obscure crimes, or do you have more?
I've known about all these crimes except for the murder mystery one.
That
was
was
extremely funny.
What number between 2 and 12? There's a few that are taken.
But it's just 4.
4 was say we'll do 3.
Whatever.
In 1931, 56-year-old Carl Tanzler was working in a hospital in Florida. Boom, Florida. When he fell in love with a 22-year-old Cuban-American woman named Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos.
Oh my God, I think I know.
Maria Elena Milagro
I think I know
de
this
Hoyos.
one. Oh, yeah.
When the couple met, De Hoyos was dying from tuberculosis, a terminal condition in the 1930s.
Is this the one where he like mummified her and kept her in his bed?
Spoiler alert. No, I don't know. Throughout the last year of her life, Tanzler reportedly showered the young woman with gifts and purchased an expensive mausoleum when she passed. After her death, Tanzler visited De Hoyos' grave, singing Spanish love songs to her. He later claimed that her spirit encouraged him to remove her from the grave and take her home.
You should see my stance right now. It's
Your
very
drop
victorious.
the mic stance is impressive. So one night in 1933, allegedly haunted by these ghostly requests, Tanzler carried De Hoyos back home in a wagon. Over the next 7+ years, Tanzler preserved the woman. He replaced her skin with silk and wax.
You can see pictures of this on the internet, by the way.
Stuffed her body with rags to keep its shape and used perfumes to disguise the smell.
This is a story of true love.
It is.
It wasn't until 1940
you should read
when the De Hoyos' sister Florinda stormed into his home with police in tow that the truth was discovered. Tanzler wasn't actually prosecuted because the statute of limitations on his initial crime had already lapsed.
So wait,
he got away with it.
He probably did nail it too.
Oh, he for sure fucked that thing.
Sorry, you said it.
Yeah, he for sure fucked that thing.
Respectful.
How do you know? Like, why are you so up on all of these murder things? Do you have
I'm a big true crime person.
Do you have a favorite true crime podcast
That's how
or
I
show?
found the fucking Greek in the cave.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
the last
true.
podcast on the left used to record here.
Yep, that's right. And that's you know what? It was your favorite. Your favorite now is Unsung Heroes.
No, my favorite
True
is
crime.
I love Unsung Heroes, obviously, but my favorite is Page 7, obviously.
Right.
NT's podcast, Crazy Days and Nights, and Who Weekly.
Who Weekly?
Yes, it's another great celebrity gossip podcast.
Of course.
And
all
what
in the
you
biz.
were talking about earlier about the old Hollywood murder stuff, you must remember this. Karina Longworth, it's basically like the best research podcast out there, and it is the secret and or forgotten stories of Hollywood's first century.
Wow.
And it's like she did an entire season on Charlie Manson's Hollywood. And
What is this called? What is this called?
It's called You Must Remember This.
You
like
must
the
remember
song.
this. Sure. Oh, I get it now.
And
that's amazing.
She this season is her fact-checking Hollywood Babylon, which is this great old fucking. Have you heard the season or just read the book? I've read the book. Yeah. Hollywood Babylon's like this old book called by Kenneth Anger, and it has the most salacious and insane rumors about everyone in Hollywood. The photo from like the 20s to like the late 30s, 40s kind of thing.
I love all this shit.
Yeah, and this season is her fact checking that book because the book was written in like the 40s. So those are my favorite podcasts.
Toby,
Besides my own.
Yeah.
Started for Degrassi, now we here with
plug
Adam
away.
Suzanne.
All right, time to do your plugs.
Which was, we released a new episode today, just now.
Yeah.
Went up on iTunes.
Anything else going on?
Like I said, we're recording. Sarah and I are recording with NC, so
They can follow you at Tobes.
yeah. So we'll be on the Crazy Days and Nights podcast this week, and I will totally link to that. You can follow me on the internet. I'm mostly at Silent Attack on Facebook, but I also Instagram at Aria Stark and rarely tweet at Tobes the.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Toby Nelson. Guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening. We record every Thursday at 8 p.m. at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Also, you can follow us at Zeros on Heroes on all social media. I'm at Mike Mercadal on all social media. Thank you all for listening and helping us solve these true crimes. Remember to go out and be heroic!